Hey guys, Trevor Reed here. This is my presentation for our flight scenario here. I've planned a little trip to 250 nautical miles from here, my home airport in Little Rock, to Oklahoma City at Will Rogers. I've made that trip before, so I'm pretty familiar with it. Looking at the scenario, I noticed that I am a newly commercial pilot and I'm looking to impress my boss and maybe nail one of these corporate jobs coming up. I'm in charge of transporting her husband, and daughter to a golf tournament, which, fun fact, I actually have one of those coming up as well. But I'm in charge of getting them to the golf tournament and back safely. So let's take a look now at me personally. Hey guys. Okay, so I am a newly certified commercial pilot. I've got a little over 250 hours, 10 hours IMC. Based upon what I have been given, I'm treating this as a check ride DPE here. I know that me personally, I am not right now current to carry passengers since I haven't flown people in 95 days. So that means I need to have 3 takeoffs and landings to full stop within the preceding 90 days. So I know I need to go get that done before I even attempt to try and take off with passengers here. I am instrument certified and current, so that's a good one based upon the scenario, given that the last 100 nautical miles of the trip will be IMC. Necessarily that does not mean, it means I'm current, doesn't necessarily mean I'm proficient. So personally for me, if I do know that I would possibly have the chance of being IMC, I would definitely go in and get a few approaches, maybe a couple holds in before I do that, because there's a huge difference between being certified and being proficient, especially as a commercial pilot when we are carrying passengers. Alright, so the aircraft I will be using is one of the Cessna 172 training aircraft we have here at Central. I chose 5041 Echo because that's old reliable for me. I do know that I will be really close to max takeoff weight here. I'm actually, since I used all my data I possibly could before flight, I noticed that I was a little bit overweight with full fuel. So I had to take out, to be safe, I took out 6 gallons. That dropped me 36 pounds, which was proficient enough to get me there and still have the instrument regulation for fuel requirements and day VFR. And I know I still have plenty of fuel to get there as well. And if need be, I've planned alternates in case I had to maybe get gas or whatever. My aircraft is instrument certified, so I can take it in IMC. Everything's good with that, and all the inspections are good as well. All right, so for the environment, I know that the first portion of the trip will be all VFR, but based upon the TAFs given to me that in the METARs, that the last 100 miles will be IFR conditions, and my destination airport is overcast 800 with 2 statute mile visibility. And personally for me, that is right at my personal minimums right now, 800 overcast. I usually don't even like going below, I definitely don't like going below circling mins, but 800 feet I think is right there at my limit. Depending on how I feel and if I'm current or proficient, will determine if I decide to continue with the approach and land, or we just go to the airport that's 30 to 35 miles away and maybe rent a car and get to the tournament there. Solo IFR, my personal minimums are probably a little bit lower than I would if I was carrying a full load of passengers. There's just, anything can happen, and my personal minimums are higher when it comes to carrying passengers right now, since I am a newly certified commercial pilot. The biggest thing I'm worried about here is if the conditions worsen as I'm trying to get in, because if it gets anything below 800, I'm going to my alternate or to the airport that's VFR that way, because too many cases of accidents that happen because people go below their personal minimums. They think they can get it done, and we're trying to eliminate that from aviation. So lastly, they're the external pressures. These personally for me, I think, are probably the most dangerous thing other than complacency that can really be put on a pilot, especially a new commercial pilot. The biggest external pressure here is you're trying to impress your boss who you are flying, You know that there's a new corporate job in there, and you want to fly them well. So maybe she considers you for the job. Um, if she's good at her job, like the chief pilot, I think she would respect better ADM decision making rather than you forcing a flight in to make sure that it's good. Um, I think that would be taken into consideration. Another big one is that there's a date and a time you need to make for the golf tournament. So those always add extreme external pressures. Those weddings, business dates, stuff like that. And finally, her daughter is starting to feel sick, and you have some light turbulence coming up. Personally for me, I don't ever want a sick passenger, but I would have a sick bag with me. And before I make any rash decision, I would take it up with her parents as well, saying that is she going to be able to make it, or do we need to detour, do we need to deviate, get down now, or can she get out the flight and maybe we finish up. I really enjoyed looking into this, and I look forward to seeing what everybody else has to say. Thanks.